Welcome back. Um, so in this next video, I would like to go into one of my favorite tools, which is called meditation with flowers, so flower essences, flower cards, flower meditation. We can call it lots of different names. And the reason I spend so, as a holistic counseling specialist, I work a lot with Australian bush flowers. So, I actually have 88 flower essences that I work with on a regular basis, and all of them have a corresponding card, corresponding image. And the way we use them here when I do my sessions is I get people to look at the 88 flower cards and just pick the ones that they like and they pick the ones that they don't like, and then the rest are neutral. So the ones that are neutral probably not relevant, and then we just work with the ones that a person likes or dislikes, because this is a great tool of getting access to our subconscious mind, to getting to that bottom of that iceberg, to that not knowing that do not know that we don't know that. Because if we like something, it means that we are already working on certain properties of those flowers, and those flowers have a whole page of description. And when people choose those flowers, sometimes I can actually choose to give them a page to read about the flowers they have chosen, and then they can tell me whether or not they relate to some of the keywords, some of the affirmations, some of the challenging problematic areas. Because very often what happens, because we're not used to analyzing or observing our reactions, our emotions, our patterns, it might be very overwhelming to actually straight away just identify what am I feeling right now, and just to say, is this I fear? But sometimes we can just go into this blank mode. It's just, I don't know, I feel something, I'm not balanced, but I cannot tell you what's wrong, everything is okay. So it's totally normal. So this is a part of the process. Again, this is there is a bit of a defense reaction that might be coming from your subconscious mind when you're starting new things. And it's okay. It's okay to expect that to happen. And what you can do, you can, if you feel like you can release, you can actually say, notice, okay, for releasing the defense reaction, releasing the stress for new things, and you can just keep releasing, again, as before, through the anti-affirmation technique. Or you can just keep trying different tools if that doesn't resonate with you. And with flower essences, it's really great because our subconscious mind, we get drawn to something that has a value for us. So I will be talking about the essential oils in the next video, but for now, we will focus on our vision. Yes, so if we see a flower or a plant, and we get drawn towards that plant, it means it has got some healing properties for us, and we may not necessarily know which ones they are. So what we can do is just to really work with whatever plants and flowers we have in the area, because very often we have associations with those flowers, or maybe memories from the childhood. So a really simple thing to do, and again, you will see that exercise described in your instructions in your handouts at the end of underneath the video there. So what you might want to do is just to observe some of plants around you. Maybe there is a little garden just outside of your house, or maybe you can actually remember. You don't even need to see or go outside to see a certain plant. Maybe you just remember a flower or plant from the past that you have positive associations with, and what you do, you imagine yourself either inside of that plant or surrounded by a whole circle. So you imagine like a barren land, and with nothing on it, field. And then what you do, you actually visualize a circle of that plant growing around you, and then maybe another circle, and just observing how it makes you feel. And this is just a lovely way of, just a lovely balancing, simple exercise. And same thing when you're trying to shift through a layer or an emotion, as we said, which covers the umbrella of everything that we might be thinking or feeling or experiencing. Think of a plant that while being in that challenging situation that you would like to shift through, think of a plant and then just observe what plant comes to mind. I wonder what plant would help me to balance right now, and maybe a pine tree would come to mind, and you would imagine yourself sitting underneath a pine tree, or maybe holding even a pine tree cone or anything like this. Plants are amazing in their healing abilities, and we don't have to work with the exact plants. Like, just thinking about them is as good. Or you can draw, or you can paint, you can print a picture of that plant if you are really visual. But with the flower essences, with the 88 flower essences, I use 88 flower essences cards, and you will have those cards in the one of your attachments, and you can just see which one, if you like. You can actually work with those flower cards as well, and then you can observe which ones you like, which ones you don't like. And after that, you can look up some of there's every single one of them has got a link on the Living Essences website, so you can go there and just check what those flowers are for, and then you might want to pick something to let go of from that list. So it's a combination of you can either be working already on letting go of something, and if you feel stuck, then you pick a flower, or you can do the opposite. If you're feeling just out of balance but you can't exactly pinpoint what it is, then you simply go on to the link with all of the cards, and then you go through all of the cards. You pick maybe one or two that draw your attention the most, and then you just either do a meditation with them straight away, or you read their properties first, and then maybe write down some of the phrases or keywords that actually you will find that are actually relevant or have been relevant for a number of weeks or even months for you. You might actually discover some deep patterns that you were not aware of, that were there at the back of your mind, and then you were just not, that's just your blind spot patterns. And it's always really interesting to see how we can get insights this way. All right, so I will complete this here. I will be doing another video about working with flower essences. I would like you to go and take a look at the flower cards instrument, and maybe do one little session for yourself when you either pick a flower first and then read its properties, or pick an emotion first and then pick a flower, either from the list or from your imagination or any other plant you can think of. And either you might want to choose to draw it in your notebook, or write the keywords and just write down where you felt stuck, what worked, what didn't work, whether that was enough, whether that was overwhelming, confusing, or whether that was something that actually worked for you and you would like to give it a go for the next few days and just experiment with a few different flowers. Okay, so we'll finish with this part, and I will be covering essential oils and how you can use essential oils as another variation for this exercise.